Hello and welcome again to the Friday Wrap for Burr Ridge. It's May 30th. We hope that you enjoy the long holiday weekend this past weekend and this past week. Here's a wrap up of what happened around the village. On Monday, we had our third annual Memorial Day ceremony at our Veterans Memorial. It was a solemn, kind of a small solemn occasion to pay respects to all those who have died in service to our country. This tradition started just 3 years after the Civil War. Actually, it was in 1868 on a holiday that was called Decoration Day, where citizens picked some of the first flowers of the spring to decorate the grave sites of the fallen soldiers. It was renamed and expanded quite a bit in 1966 and made a national holiday by Congress in 1971. Of course, today is known as Memorial Day. At 10 o'clock, the Hinsdale Memorial Day Parade started out at 3rd and Garfield. It ended up going west, then north across the tracks over in front of the Hinsdale Memorial Building. It was followed by a very nice ceremony, lasted about 30 minutes, complete with a band, a gun salute, taps, etc., speeches by people from the American Legion and the VFW. And I was ended up I was able to join village presidents from Oak Brook, Gopal Lamalani, as well as Hinsdale, Tom Colley, and Mayor Frank Trilla, as well as some other dignitaries on the stage. Afterward, I attended lunch at Papa Pacero's. That was kind of neat too. It's not the first time for them. It's actually their 25th, just about 25th year in a row, I believe, where they offer a free lunch for all military veterans. Something they've been doing, as I said, for 25 years. Papa Pacero's, you might know, on Cass Avenue, is actually owned by Laura Trilla, who is a wife of Mayor Frank Trilla from Willowbrook. Then it was off to Emeritus and over to King Bruvar to honor some of the older veterans living there at those two senior living communities. The village board meeting was held on Tuesday. That was approved was a Pathway Commission to hold a public hearing for a sidewalk along 79th Street and the paving of the Veterans Parkway near C&H Industrials, the old International Harvester, as well as a minimal increase in the village administrator's salary after being closed session. Tabled was actually a recommendation by the Pathway Commission to encourage homeowners to shovel their sidewalks, which is not part of the original agreement in the beginning with the village, and it was just encouraging and not requiring it. But it was actually that was put on hold because one of the trustees mentioned something about common law, which actually a common law ruling, which could make such a good Samaritan deed actually liable, or the homeowner liable if someone actually gets injured on a shoveled sidewalk versus non-shoveled. It just goes to show you what the impact that the attorneys have had on our community. But we ended up tabling it waiting for a final opinion from our village attorney, and probably be voted on next meeting. The Burr Ridge Veterans Memorial Committee committee met on Wednesday to go back over the Armed Forces Day event, and also to discuss the possibility of having additional, I won't say a monument. It's actually an artillery gun of some kind on a Veterans Memorial property, but that's also still up for some future discussion. But I will say the Armed Forces Day event was actually still huge, and people are still talking about especially the flyover. On Thursday, during the office hours, on Wednesday, we also went to a DuPage County District 3 Stormwater and Watershed Management meeting held at Ruth Lake Country Club. That was John Curran was District 3 board member that kind of led it, as well as Mayor Frank Trilla, who hosted it. The Stormwater Management County Director, his name was Anthony Charlton. He actually did most of the speaking, but he's also, in addition to his staff, was there to offer comments and answer questions about some of the issues that have been coming up. In particular, talk about the plans, issues, and precautions being taken, including the properties that were actually bought back by the county to be used as retention ponds in the troubled areas. On Thursday, at office hours, I met up with one resident talking about some of the limitations regarding having a home-based business, and also spoke with Suzanne Gray and Barb Hardy from Right Fit about final preparation for the Burr Ridge 5K run, which is actually tomorrow morning. Look for the tent in County Line Square between Chase Bank and Capri. The race begins at 8 a.m. sharp. Actually, some speaking and some festivities start at 7:30. In other village news, the DuPage Mayors and Managers Conference will be held tonight. It's an annual meeting held in Downers Grove. Attending will be myself and Steve Stricker, along with our wives. There will be a Scandinavian culture organization called the Vasa Order of America. Will be holding their annual meeting at the Burr Ridge Marriott tonight and tomorrow morning. And don't forget again the 5K run. It's going to be a big deal tomorrow morning. As I mentioned, the festivities start at 7:30 or 8. And I have one little tidbit of information. Did you know the history of the Catherine Leahy Park, or Memorial Park? I knew bits and pieces of it, but it was kind of neat. There's quite a connection between the park and the International Harvester. It was actually owned by the former president of IH and his wife, for whom it is named after her passing. It was used as a recreation center, specifically for the women of IH, International Harvester. I heard that because I got a neat little brochure from a woman who actually works right next door at King Brevard. Her name was Anita Schauf or Schaff. She's actually worked for International Harvester for 44 years and now works right next door. Well, that's a wrap. I hope you have a great weekend and week. We'll talk to you again. Take care.